Today we're going to be talking about the best hand traps in the new format, post Justice Hunters. Starting off, I want to put Ash. I think Ash is really solid in the new format. In terms of like hitting the engine of decks, it's not really that great against the engine of like Yummy, but it hits a lot of the some of the important cards in the deck. You can Ash Thrust, you can Ash Obedient School, which is really good. So you still want it versus the deck, even though like just drawing an Ash, like you can hit like the Cupsy way, which is like okay, but I'm not gonna lie, most of the time it doesn't stop the deck. So against Yummy it's not high impact, but against Vicious K9 it's pretty solid. You can Ash the Holy Soothe the Azuna on your turn, which is really good. And then I think it's still going to be a Molcharmy format for a bunch of decks, so being able to Ash Molcharmies is really good too. The thing that makes it not like in the top category is that it's not like FDKing decks with engine. Moving on to Bell. I'd put Bell honestly in situational. It's not like a terrible card. I think it got a little bit better because it's playable against Yummy. It's not like a main deck card because against Vanquish K9, which might be the most represented deck, it's pretty bad. Really bad. But against Yummy, it's good. Against heavy Mitsu decks, it's okay. Against Malice, it's okay if you're taking a high hand trap approach. It can be solid against Malice, so I think it's situational depending on the deck you're playing. If you're playing like a ton of hand traps, like the 20 hand trap build, maybe you side Bell. Bystials, I think Bystials are probably a bit lackluster, which is crazy because Bystials felt really good before, but the format's going to open up wide. Vanquish K9 might be the most represented deck for like the first event, and Bystials are really bad against that deck, like really bad. But you'd only spot even half the Bystials like Lantern target, so, and they're gonna have Ripper up by then, or they might not even do that. So I mean, Bystials are just, and even then, it's like if they target an Azuna, you can't even Lantern target, you can't even Bystial it, right? So I think the Bystials are just really poor cards. They're okay against Yummy, but you kind of need like multiple or like Magma for it to like really pop off. Just the banishing isn't the end of the world, but like having like the bodies is like cool first. Yeah, they're just lackluster. I don't even think you play these cards in Vanquish anymore. But like obviously if you're playing Malice, they like have value. They're not terrible cards. Contact C, I put Contact C in lackluster. It's not like an unplayable card, but in the new format is going to have a lot of decks, and with Lancia is still mandatory in my opinion. So it's really hard to play a card like Contact C that's like only really good versus like one deck. I mean, Yummy. I mean, technically it's okay versus Vanquish K9, but it's like really high risk, high reward. So I wouldn't really play it against the deck, but it's an option. Something cute though is that like the main counter to the Contact C is Cross Sheep, but because people might not expect Contact C, people might not play Cross Sheep, so you could play Contact C for that reason. So yeah. DB Crow, this card is mid. It's literally Bystials, but worse. I mean, versus Vanquish, you can hit the Raisin, but with the way the deck plays right now, you don't even need to like go through that much. The one cool thing about DB Crow is that you can hit Zuna for Lupus, which is like not bad. Hit the Lupus, they send off with Zuna. But yeah, Delta, I'll put also Delta and Lackluster. The format before the card was pretty decent, but the format got more wide open. There are more decks you have to worry about. The side frame package takes a lot of side deck space, so it's really hard to fit in that when you also have to worry about like Vanquish and whatnot. And against Vanquish K9 and Yummy, I don't think Delta's playable, unfortunately. Joel, I'll put Joel in situational. Like I said, I keep repeating myself that the format got more wide open, but it really just did. And against Yummy, Joel is not good. It's like okay when you go first because like turns off cards like Thrust and whatnot, but it's not like the best card. Against Mitsu's gonna be really good. Against Vanquish K9, it's like okay. It's like pretty. It's solid. It's solid. It's not like an FDK level card. Obviously, it's insane against Mitsu. Against Malice, depending on the deck you're playing, it can be okay actually. Unironically, like I think if you're playing Yummy and you Joel them, like that's like you Joel and then you draw a board breaker, you have like a decent chance of winning the game. So I think Joel can still be played, but it definitely got a little bit worse. Moving on to Phantasme, I think Phantasme is solid situational. It's Phantasme is cool because before Malice players would play for the mirror match, but also it's really good against Yummy too, depending on your deck, because like giving a body is nice. The deck does link summon. The deck, all of its disruption or most of it is targeting, so Phantasme helps with that. Just having the big body versus the deck is nice. Also, they link summon on your turn too, or they summon a link monster on your turn, sorry. So you can trigger Phantasme that way as well on your turn. So I think the card is really flexible. It's kind of playable against Vanquish K9, but it's kind of a coin flip, I'm not gonna lie. Because half the time, if they're playing 3 Yokel, they go for Ripper before. Sometimes they're gonna go for Ripper before they end up summoning the Link one. So I don't think I would side it in against Vanquish K9, but you know, it's there. Gamma, I think Gamma's still good. Gamma's Gamma. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about that. Chaos Thunder is lackluster. You don't really have that much side deck space right now, and if you already have to play Lancia, playing 6 cards for Malice is really meh. And for the same reason, I'm going to put Meowth in lackluster as well. Imperm, I'll put in situational. Imperm, I like that as a hand trap. It's not that great. It's not good versus Yummy. I like that you can hit the half board of Yummy though. You can Imperm the Snatchy and the draw phase or standby phase, so that's pretty cool. You can also Imperm is pretty okay as a hand trap against Vegas K9, even though they do have like the names. They don't play that many names, so it's like okay against that. If you're playing like a hand trap approach, Imperm is pretty solid, I think. Obviously, you can out Detonator. Lancia is the best. Like, this card should be in your list 100%. Mourner, this card's unplayable. I'm not gonna go into it. Perulia, I'll put Perulia in situational. Perulia is kind of cool. I think it's really good versus Vanquishable, because the K9 cards all play into it. So I think Perulia is really good versus that. If you're playing versus heavy Ryzel, like Mitsu Ryzel, and looking at the list from the NAWCQ, most people in NA at least are still in like a lot of Ryzel cards. Perulia is gonna be good against that as well, so is there. It's okay into Yummy. Obviously, like if they open Obedience School or Horny Jones, they can do a lot under it, but if they don't, it's not bad. So I think it's a solid main deck card. Ghost Ogre, I'll put in a situational. I think it's a pretty, honestly, I think Ghost Ogre is like a really strong hand trap right now if you're taking a hand trap approach. All right, recording again. Hopefully this works. I had to take a phone call. But anywho, Dominus Purge. Dominus Purge as a hand trap. I'm going to put Dominus Purge. Where would I put Dominus Purge at? Purge is kind of weird. It's not like a terrible card against Malice. Is going to be really bad. I'm not going to lie. Against Yummy, I don't think it's that good against Yummy either, even though it can stop thrust, which is nice. Against Vanquishable, it's like pretty decent. Against Mitsu, it's like, honestly, it's hit or miss. I'm not going to lie. But it's not bad. I like that you can like, if you're playing like a board breaker deck, you can guarantee stop the floodgate cards. Like you can stop Duo, so like you can't or Boros you, or you can stop like Banshee for Protos, so it's kind of cool there. But they have like Merkuma up, but it's kind of weird. I'm gonna put it on lackluster. Reaper, lackluster, same reason as Chaos Hunter and Meows. Shifter, situational. It was like good against like rogue decks before. It's like good against, decent against Yummy. Not good against VSK9 though. It's just situational. You could arguably put it like below 2. Skullmeister, this card's unplayable. I'm just gonna move these cards to unplayable. I think these cards are like all unplayable. Don't need to talk about that. Valor is lackluster. Nibiru, I think Nibiru is pretty decent. It's good against Yummy. It's good against Malice if you're playing a hand trap approach. Even if you're not playing a hand trap approach, it's good against Yummy too. There's a world where it could be good against VSK9, but that's kind of whatever. But yeah, Nib is solid. Fua, it's not that good against VSK9, so yeah, it's a situational. Psycho Reader, it's like lackluster. It's okay against Yummy, but that's about it. And it's like a worse Reaper if you're trying to play a hand trap for Yummy. Impulse is really solid. It's the GOAT. It's pretty playable against the new decks too. So yeah, it just stays really good. Azuna, I'll put in situational. It's just a nice hand. Azuna's just really solid overall. The only thing that stops it from being higher is that versus Yummy, it's unplayable. And versus Mitsurugi, it's okay. But if they go like first action Habakiri, it's not really rank 5 you can make that like does a whole lot. So they go like search ritual, like what are you gonna do, right? And then Songs of Dominator, I'll put in situational. It's like pretty decent. You can stop a lot of cards, but obviously it's limited by the decks that can play it. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And take care.